Okay, just a minute. It says I'm live. Okay, I think I got everything the way I wanted it to. Let me check to make sure I really am live. Nobody knows I'm going live, so I don't expect anybody to be here because it's been so long. So I just thought I would try this to see, you know, if it works. Because it's been a while and you have to, you know, use an app because, you know, that's just how YouTube is. Hi, Michelle. Hi. Oh, so I do have some people. Wonderful. So that means I am live. Let me see if I can get to my... Oh, there we are. Yes, we are live. So I wanted to talk about me doing psychic fairs. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, this is just an impromptu because I've had some fun. So what I was going to talk about is I've been doing some psychic fairs for most of the spring, April and May, and it's really been quite the learning experience. I call myself a tarot reader that receives messages from spirit. So that's how I build myself. And the more that I do, the more confident I am, and the more confident I am, the more people that come to my table. So the more fairs I've done, the more people I get. And the last fair I did was really amazing because there wasn't a lot of people, but I was busy. And that's what you want. You want to be busy. You want to have people come to your table. Not only did people come to my table, but there were Angie who does psychic fairs, has some of the best psychic fairs in my state of New Hampshire where I live. She was there and she asked me to do a reading. Now, I told you I bill myself on that I receive messages when I do tarot. But she challenged me to use my mediumship skills. And I didn't say, no, I can't do that. I was like, okay, I'll see. She gave me a couple of names to see if I could tap into these people and see what was going on because they were affecting, you know, her life. And without going into detail. So that was pretty amazing because I knew that I have these skills, but like I said, I don't publicize it and I don't put it on my resume, so to speak. So that was really cool. And then it was the end of the fair, but I hadn't picked up everything yet. And this woman came in and she wanted a reading. And since I was the last one there and everybody else pretty much had picked up and left, she asked me to connect with her deceased mother. And I did. I felt it, you know. I was a little unsure because I haven't done a lot of mediumship in public. So that was really exciting. And that worked out good. And she asked me how I got started. And like, I told her that I had, you know, publicly, this was my second year publicly. And that I had known I've had a gift for a long time. And that it really started with animals. And I thought it was just something funny that I was doing, but it turned out to be that I was really speaking to animals when this dog named Thumper, I kept giving the message, water, 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 but I couldn't figure out what he wanted, but I knew he was telling me something. So first I thought, well, water, he's gotta want something to drink, right? Well, I was close. He had to go pee. He had to go out and go pee. So that was my first inkling that I was real. So I'm going back. So she'd like me to read her dog, and I'm sure I don't need her dog to be there to read it, but she wants me to meet her dog and see if I can read her dog for her. And that's something I don't have on my resume. So the next fair that I do at that place is next month. So she's going to be there early, and I'm going to go out and see what I can find out about her dog. So that's going to be really interesting for me. I'm sure I'll be a little nervous because it will be something new. But it's kind of like I have the nerves before I get there, maybe while I'm setting up. But then once I've settled, and especially once I've done my first reading, it's like I just get into this zone and I'm ready to read. And I prefer to have one right after another because I just like having that flow. Hi, Hexen. Nice to see you. So that's really exciting. So I just wanted to get on and talk about that. And since I haven't done any live readings, I thought I got this beautiful tarot deck from Diane Jaraki. She was getting rid of some of the decks, so I got this deck. It's called, I forget what it's even called. Oh dear, I don't remember. But let's try and do a week ahead reading with this. And then maybe I'll do a few 2-card readings for you. A little cranberry juice with water. All of a sudden it got hot here too. So we'll see what the week ahead. This is really different type of tarot. So I'll see if I get any hits from it from the week ahead. Not from the week. For the week ahead. Alrighty. This coming week, we just passed the full moon, so that means we're in a waning phase. So it's a good time to release stuff. And boy, do I need to release stuff. I do. Oh, shuffle one more time, it says. That's because it's a new deck to me. Alright, one more shuffle. I don't usually shuffle this much. But it's telling me to shuffle, so I listen. And it says do my three, oh, what do we call that? Right, guys? What do we call that kind of, riffle shuffle. That's what it is. It's called a riffle shuffle. Oh my gosh, I can't remember how to riffle shuffle. The name. Oh, it's my brain. It got humid here. It's like, I hate humid. Alright, let's see. We got 5 of Wands. What? 5 of Wands. 5 of Swords. So you can see this is, so it's kind of like 5 of Feathers. We got the Hierophant, which doesn't make sense. It's got a lantern in this deck. I forget the name of this deck. And what's the third card? We got Knight of Coins. So, what are we going to read? How are we going to read these, guys? So, Knight of Coins, what is that? It looks like a spade. It looks like a hand spade that you can use to dig in the garden with. So we know the Knight is Pentacles or coins, and Pentacles is about physicality. It's about digging in the earth. I'm taking my socks off because it's humid. And so it really doesn't give us much to go on. It's just a spade. You know, so what do we, so, you know, Because I always like to read the pictures too, not just about, okay, traditionally, what does this, what is this card, right? Oh, this is a knight. Why did I say king? Because I read it wrong? Okay, the knight. Knight of coins. So, knights to me are about movement. They're about creativity. So we will go with that, but we got to look at this. This is a spade. So, I'm thinking, what do you need to dig into? That's the phase that's coming up, is what do you need to dig into? Do you need to is it time to start gardening? Not really. It's good time to start preparing, because you really don't want to plant until the new moon. So this is really not a time, but it's a good time to maybe prepare and get everything ready. Because, you know, coins are about physical earth. You know, it's not always about money, but what do we need to dig into? That's what's coming. Then we have 5 of Swords that came up. So 5 of Swords, what is this card saying to me? This 5 of Swords is saying to me, what do we need to let go of? Remember, this is a waning moon. This is a good time to let go of things. And like 5 is something disruptive in our lives is what we need to let go of. In that sense, Swords has to do with the mind, right? Swords has to do with the air element. So that is, what are we thinking? What are we internalizing? What's on our mind? What are we speaking? What are we saying? What are we breathing out? What are we bringing in? What are we thinking about? What's on our mind? It's a good time not to be cluttered with things in our mind. The feathers are falling away. So definitely, this is a good time to let go of those defeating thoughts. That's what's coming, because it's a 5. Let go of those defeating thoughts. Defeating thoughts. That's what that's saying to me. And then we get the Hierophant. And it looks like a lantern. It looks like this should be the hermit's lamp. But it's not. It's lighting the way. The Hierophant to me is really the teacher. The spiritual light. Finding the spiritual light. So that's what it is. Finding your spiritual light. So what do we need to dig into? What's cluttering our mind? Release the clutter. Look for the teaching. So that kind of makes sense. It's kind of like, it's not really like a full sentence, but it's releasing what is no longer serving us, releasing what is cluttering our mind, preparing for work, prepare for planting new seeds for the new moon, get rid of the stuff, and look for the spiritual light. Look for your spiritual guidance, whether it be from within or without. So, if anybody would like a little 2-card short reading, I'm willing to do that. And maybe I'll get back into that now. Anybody happens to live close to me, I'm going to start doing readings from my home. I'm in New Hampshire, so if you're in New Hampshire, you can PM me and you can come get a reading from me if you'd like. So, oh, bye, Hasten. Oh, thank you. Mwah. To you, too. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe I'll come back to doing my Sunday nights. Now that it's later, it'll probably be around 7:30-ish. So, what's Tarot by Tomya Spirit? Would you like a reading? It says I got 3 people here. But at least that means I have 2. If you want a little short 2-card reading, I'd be more than pleased to do one for you. Okay, what I'm going to do is just a general reading, because when I do psychic fairs, that's a lot of what I do is general readings. And usually a general reading is what you need to know right now in this moment, what the Spirit has to say. What does Spirit have to say for you? Say to you, what do you need to know? So we'll ask Spirit what you need to know in this moment. And I hope I pronounced that right. So I'll shuffle one more time. Hello, Michelle. Welcome. Okay, 2 cards, Tanya. We've got the Emperor, and I will show them to you. And oh, this is so interesting. And we got the 4 of Cups. Remember, I'm going by what I see. That's how I read, what I see and what I sense. So we got the Emperor. And I always think of the Emperor as being like, because the Emperor really is the square. He is squared. So that means the Emperor is solid foundation. That's what he's about. But in this deck, we got a sword and we got a crown. And the sword is piercing the crown. So to me, that's a little troubling, because that's saying that's a disruption, right? This is a disruption. I mean, like, I'm going to say it, it's like this is a disruption in the Force, because that's where our thoughts come from, and to have that sword stuck in the crown, and the crown can represent like the crown chakra. So that can either, the crown chakra can be your connection to your higher power. So I feel like it might be a blockage here, or it's saying it's a blockage. And that also means there can be there needs to be an opening here. That's what it's saying to me. There needs to be an opening of your connection with Spirit. There's a little trouble there. That's what I'm feeling. And then because we got the 4 of Cups with that. And I love crows. I just love crows. And the crow or ravens. There's 2 there, and they're reflected in the water, because like cups of water. So they're looking at, but they're not looking at their reflection. They're looking away from their reflection. So they're saying to me, what are we not choosing to look at? So these 2 cards together tell me there's something you're refusing to look at that's emotional, because cups are emotion, right? So open up to your higher power. Remember, these are just little short readings. Open up to your higher power. Find what you need to look at. Find what you need to look at. Something Spirit wants you to look at. So basically, look at your own reflection, and that will give you the answer. There's a weird stuff going on around here lately. Michelle, would you like a little short reading? Thank you, Tom. Yeah, I hope that gave you something. It felt strange to me, but I'm strange. It's a different deck, so that's like, it's not, I'm not sure how this will read for me. That's why I try it out when I do things like this. It helps me try out a deck, I tell you, I've been reading with the Dark Mansion Tarot. I just love it. Oh, it's amazing. I love that deck, but I like to try different ones and just see how they speak, if they speak, I haven't worked with this too much. Yes, that's what I'm going to do is general readings. What does Michelle need to know right now? That's my question for a general reading, usually. Let's see. What does she need to know? I think this is some kind of crow tarot. Yeah, that's why I got it from Diane, because I like crows. And it's very different deck. So it's kind of fun to try it out. Okay, Michelle. Wow, look at these cards though. I love them because they're very vivid. This is a magician, Michelle. So when I think of the magicians, I think of you have all the tools necessary. You have the tools to create magic, whatever that may look like to you. It's also a beginning of something, of a creative project, right? It's a number one, so it's a step. You know, it's like an ace. It's like, what am I beginning now? Do I need to begin something anew? And I think so, because we got 10 of Cups. And we know 10 is a completion card. And look at all those crows. Those 10 of Cups is usually like the happy family. But I don't know. That's a gaggle of crows. To me, that looks a bit crowded in this card. You know, so I'm feeling a crowd. So, I'm thinking this is, what are you saying, gaggle of crows? You know what this is real saying? The gaggle of crows is saying it is time to find some time by yourself so you can find a new project to start on, whether that be whatever that project is. It doesn't matter. It could be reading a book. It can be drawing, writing, whatever. It can be anything, any project. But I'm really saying, like, finding time. Crows are saying finding time to be with yourself, to do something creative that makes your heart sing. So with that, I think I'm gonna wrap this up, because it's almost been a half hour, and that's what I like to do for my lives, is about a half hour. So I appreciate you all stopping by for my quick live. I think I'm gonna be back next Sunday evening, and you're welcome, Michelle, do some readings. I think we'll work with this Crow Tarot. I think it's going to speak well to me. It's a little different, but I think I like different. I don't like everything always being the same. That's no fun. And then there will be a lot of new stuff when things get rolling for me. And so keep an eye on my channel. I will be back, be doing more, because I won't be doing, like, the midsummer, I won't be doing a lot of psychic fairs, so I will probably be on to keep my skills up and all that good stuff. So my new slogan, if you haven't heard it before, is many blessings, and remember to be wild. How many times?